friends, this is the second book in Modern Curriculum Press Series 1, and the story title is Sam and Al. So I'm going to write the title down here, Sam and Al. We're missing the cover, so let's write the title below. So in this title, we have the main character's name, Sam and Al. We're going to be focusing in again on short vowels, and this will just give us a nice review of the short vowels, and everyone can join in with this book. Sam is a cat. Al is a man. Sam and Al are pals. So they are friends, right? Another word for pals would be friends, right? Buddies. So what is the cat's name? Okay, and what kind of cat, when they say Sam is a cat, what kind of a cat is he? He's not like a house cat, right? Yeah, he is a lion, right, with the big mane. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and label him. So his name is Sam, capital S, Sam. And what was the man's name? Yeah, his name is Al, capital A-L. Maybe short for Alvin or Alberto. Okay, now, what kind of job do you think the man does? Where does this story take place? It's important to ask yourself these questions. What do you think? Okay, so maybe this is a zoo. And do you think he works at the zoo? So someone that works at a zoo could be called a zookeeper. He might be in charge of feeding the animals and cleaning up after the animals. He has a large broom, a pusher broom in his hand. He has a pail of something in his hand as well. Okay, so, and they are friends. Do we have any other characters? Well, we have this animal in the back, maybe a leopard in the back, but we don't know their name, and maybe they're not going to be part of the story. Okay, let's continue on. We might have to turn it a bit because the copying was a little strange. Okay. Sam and Al gab. So this is a word I don't see very often, gab. Could we think of another word? What do you think gab means? Based on what they're doing here, can you tell what they're doing? What do you think gab could mean? This is a good practice because often you might see a word, and I see words in things that I read sometimes, and I'm thinking, what does that mean? And I have to think, okay, based on the pictures, based on the other things that are happening, what could it mean? So I have to think, now what could gab mean based on what we know? Like right now I'm reading this book. It's a really good book, but sometimes it has words I have to think, oh my goodness, am I going to have to look that up? So in whatever you read, it might be a fun book, it might be a book you're reading for class. You have to think, well, what does it mean? Now, what could they be doing? I don't think it means to clean. I know he's cleaning here, but Sam and Al are doing this together. It doesn't look like Sam is cleaning, right? It couldn't be clean. Okay, so in this case, gab means they are talking, right? They're talking. So Sam and Al are talking. They're chatting, right? They're having a nice little chat or a talk. Okay, then we're going on, and I'm going to let you read the rest of this story and practice reading it. Continue to ask yourselves questions. Okay, questions about the story, questions about the characters. Is there going to be a problem? Let's find out. So keep reading it. If there is a problem, we'll think about how they're solving the problem, maybe do some predictions, and then see if you were correct on your prediction. Hi friends, now that we have had a chance to read the story, we're going to go ahead and sequence the story using numbers, first, second, or third. Al has ham for Sam. Did that happen at the beginning, the middle, or the end of the story? Al nabs the rat. Nabs. What did nab mean? Do you remember? Nabs means to grab, to get a hold of. Maybe you're playing tag and you gently nab the person you're trying to catch. Sam and Al gab. Oh, I remember that from the beginning of the story, right? So, what order does this happen in? I want you to think about it. Now, if you're not sure, you can go back. Maybe you know for sure that Sam and Al were gabbing at the beginning of the story, because I remember that from page 2 when they were talking together. But you're not sure what came first. Al has ham for Sam, or Al nabs the rat. If you're not sure, go back in the story and figure this out. Let's see, on page 4 it says Al has ham for Sam. And then when does he actually nab the rat? No, oh, here it is, page 7, Al nabs the rat. So you can tell which one came first. He has the rat in that bag there, right? He's inside the bag. I love this picture here on page 6 with the rat. He came with his own little bib on, and he brought his own little fork with him. So he had planned it out. I don't think Sam's happy about it, but he had a plan. Okay, so then you can sequence it on your own there. And then we have a little bit of work to do where you're going to read, and then draw a picture to match. It won't be from the story, but it's also using a lot of short A words. Okay, so you're going to read and draw pictures. And then on this one, you're going to come up with a rhyming word for the other two words. So let's see what we have. Fat, hat. What's another word that rhymes? Fat. They have the at family, right? Fat, hat. What's another word you could use? If you're not sure, what letter could you put in front of at to make a new word? Oh, I could put in bat, or I could have cat, or I could have mat, or gnat, or pat, rat, sat. Okay? So you're going to make sure that the word that you choose is a rhyming word. And I recommend, if you're having a hard time figuring out a rhyming word, to look it up on your chart. Look up a new sound on your chart. Now the last page for our comprehension work today is pictures from the book. We're going to look at each picture from our story, Sam and Al, and then we're going to underline or circle the sentence that tells us what is happening in the picture. Then we're going to print the sentence on the line. Sam has a nap. Is that happening there? Is Sam napping? No, not there. Sam and Al are pals. And that's true, they're friends, right? Al jabs Sam. Do you know what jabs means? It means to poke him. Is he poking him? No. So I wasn't sure about the second one, but now I am sure. And if I'm not positive, I can go back to the picture in this story and I can, Sam and Al are pals. And that was from the very first page. Then I'm going to circle that and I'm going to rewrite it as neatly as I can. Using my spacing, you're going to have to keep the words kind of small in order for it to fit on the lines, okay? So work on that, and we are going to take a movement break after this.